Hello and welcome. My name is Honey Bueno, and I wanted to share with you today the tool that I use to communicate in this virtual space. I use it every single day, almost all day, it seems like. And so I thought maybe I would do a little tour of that tool that I use, which is called Snagit. So in the comments, let me know if you use Snagit yourself, or the tool that you use for better communication. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. We can jump right in. Let's see. Let's see. All right, here we are. So you can see here, what I have up here is an example, clearly an example of an agency bill invoice. And let's say I am wanting to communicate with someone over email. Maybe I'm in the middle of wanting to get this paid, but the account manager has not yet billed it. So I want to communicate with them that I need this, invoice billed. So what I would do is I have the invoice here that you can see. I'm going to hit this little capture on the toolbar here. I have my Snagit tool here. I'm going to make sure it's on image, and then I'm going to hit capture. And now I want to capture this image here. So I'm going to bring this in. You see the edges have yellow to help you see on the sides and then on the top and bottom of your screen. You can see here that this bar is here. So I'm going to hit start, and that's capturing that image. And then looks like my bar jumped to my other screen. Let me bring it over here, and then just hit stop. All right, so now once I've captured that, you'll see it pop into the Snagit editor. So while I'm in here, maybe I'd like here, I don't want the top of that to show, so I can just bring that down, and then it minimized that for me. Maybe it's showing up a little small for me. I'm having trouble seeing it. So in this outer space here, I can do a Control plus plus to make my screen image bigger. Now, let's say, again, I want to communicate to that account manager that I need this build. So what I can do is come up here let's go to my shape. And you notice here on the right, they have these colors. These are your basic colors that the program comes with, but it's so cool because you can actually create a theme with your own colors and your own background. You can even go online and get a bunch of, they have themes that you can use, import into your editor here to use. But anyway, I have the primary colors here, red. So let's say I want to point this out, and I'm going to put a box here around here. Now notice here the box that I made, maybe you want the border to be a bit thicker, right? So if I grab onto that box, you notice down here there's thickness. I can make that thicker like that. So you can make it as thick or thin as you want. You can even play with that opacity, but I'm just going to mess with that for now. Now let's say I want to really highlight something within that box. So I can jump over to my highlighter, and I'm going to use yellow. You can change the color down here if you want. You can put your own hex code numbers if you have your brand colors and things like that, and create a theme with it. I'm just going to stick with the basic yellow for now. I want them to build a premium, surplus signs, tax, or broker fee, and a policy fee. Okay, so I need that build. Maybe I want to highlight that policy number, and here's your insured name. Okay, again, this is fake information, not real. All right, so those are some things I wanted to point out. Now, what if I wanted to maybe make a note on here for them? So what I can do is a call out. There's a couple ways you can do it. I love to use call outs, and there's different options that you can use here. So let's just use this green one here. So notice here that it makes like a white background when you do that. You can mess around with the type of font and the size of the font here. You can make it bold, italics, underlined, centered, left aligned. There's so many things you can do in here. So I'm just going to put test note, or how about, I'm sorry, let's see. Look at the commission rate. So like, I just want them to really focus on that. So here's my call out. Now, of course, I can make it smaller. You can play around with the size of the box like that. You can come up to arrow now. That's what I want to do. Now I'm going to scroll up, and since my box is green, I want my arrow to be green. So I'm going to click on that, and then I want to drag this, and I want them to focus right here at this rate. Now notice here, though, that I've crossed over some words, and I don't want to interrupt someone's view of what is behind this arrow. So what I can do is I'm making sure I'm on the arrow. I can go over here to opacity and then I can make it go less. So now you can see basically through my arrow, but you can still see that I'm trying to make a point here, right? So that's what I love about using Snagit is I can do that. Now, let's say I wanted to maybe tell them like start at a certain spot on here. I can do that by doing steps, right? So in order to do steps, notice up here, first of all, like this bar up here, these are things I've already had added up here. But if you click the more features where you'll find more things that you can do. So let's just take the step feature. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the color yellow right now. That's what it is. And you notice here that you can do different shapes. You can even do letters and so forth. But I'm going to leave it on the yellow. And I want them to start here. So I can move that. You can adjust the size of your shape if you don't like how it turned out. So I'm going to put that there as a 1. And maybe I want them next to focus here at this area. So I'll put 2. And then I want them to focus here for 3. But let's say, have you ever had it where there's another image that you want them to follow? So you want this step to continue to the next image. So I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you, but sometimes that happens to me where I want the notes to keep going. This is obviously not a good example because everything is really on this invoice, but I would just wanted to show you how you can do that for steps. So we have 1, 2, and 3, right? So let's say I have this another image here. Let me capture this image as well. Let me hit capture. Now there is a shortcut that you can use as well for this. I went ahead and just use the bar that came up. So I'm going to start, stop. So now that's capturing that image. It's putting it in here. So again, if we go back to our prior image, I ended on step 3. So I'm going to pick that up back on step 4. So here's my step. It's still in the step button. I can go here, right? But notice here, look, it actually started, oops, let me undo. If you might make a mistake, just hit undo. It started actually with 1, right? But I just told you I need it to be 4. So what you can do is you highlight that and then you hit edit value. You can make it a 4 and then hit the check mark. So now it's a 4. Now I want it to be 5 down here. So it'll just pick up adding 1 from whatever you edit that value to. So you can see that that's a pretty cool feature as well. Now, what if you're going to email this to someone outside of your organization? So you need to maybe hide some of this information because it's personal. Got some PII on here, so you don't want to be emailing that. So what you can do is you can go, I have it up here on my bar, you can go to shape. There's a couple of different things you can do. I actually utilize shape a lot, and I'll pick the black shape, and then I can actually just block out what I don't want to go over, you know, if I'm going to email someone outside. So I can just put the black there like that. Or another option, let me undo that. You can go here to more. I'm going to click blur. So maybe I want it to be blurred. So I can just blur it out like this. Whatever you want blurred, you can do that too. So that's another cool feature of what you can do in here. Now, another thing is maybe you want to put a smiley face, or maybe you can see here there's a ton of options for stamps, and you can actually go online and they have a library that you can import some more stamps in. That might be something you might like. But let me search. I believe they have one for smile. So, okay. So you can put a smile on here. There's your stamp. So you can do that. Of course, you can adjust the size of the stamps as well, big or small, oopsie, like that. Make it bigger, however you want. All right, you can write and things like that. I don't usually use the pen. I don't usually use the lines, but you see here there are other options that you can use as well. Now, what I really wanted to show you too was, you know how sometimes when you want to go and you want to screenshot something, but it goes beyond the page. So then or you know, beyond your view on your screen. So you have to like take a screenshot and then scroll down, take a screenshot, scroll down. Well, with Snagit, you don't have to do that. It's actually pretty cool. So let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. And actually the example I'm going to use, this is my Facebook group. It's Insurance Bookkeeping with Tracking Transactions. And I'd love it if you'd like to join. That's where you can find me sharing this kind of information. But notice here, like this is scrolling down, and I was telling you I want to capture more than what you can see here on the screen right now. And so what I can do is I hit the screen capture button. Right now I have it set to panoramic. So I'm going to hit capture. So I want it to capture this area here. I'm just going to click and I want to bring it in, and I want to bring it in on the side. I'm going to move my little button here off the screen that I'm capturing. I'm going to hit the start. Now, if you see here, so here's my screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start, see my mouse? I'm going to start scrolling, moving that screen down. And you don't want to go too fast. If you go too fast, it won't do a really good capture for you. So you want to pay attention to that. So you just, you can scroll. So now I'm going to hit stop. Let's say I'm done. I got everything I need. So once it's done capturing all that, it's going to populate it into your Snagit editor. Now, what I actually like to use this feature for a lot is for bank statements when I'm reconciling, because, it goes beyond the page. And sometimes there's some notes on here that I want to capture on my bank statement, for example. I just use this for an example of the Facebook group. Obviously, I can't share a bank statement on screen. But anyhow, if you click here in the outside area, I'm going to hit the Control plus so that you can see and make it bigger. So that way, pretending like this is the bank statement, this is where I would come on and I could make any kind of notes in the bank statement if there were any kind of issues. Maybe there's something missing that I need to ask someone for help for, so I can highlight, make a note, and then send it on. What I really love also about Snagit is the fact that if I come back here, look how I can quickly add these notes in here, type, and I don't have to worry about anything else because it's real fast and it does it for me super easy. Now, another feature I wanted to show you also to help me with communication is, yes, this is very helpful. You can type, you can do the numbers, it's just so much easier when there's pictures involved and you're trying to communicate in this virtual space. But what if instead, you really wanted to use a video, right? So maybe I wanted to show someone like how to get somewhere, and it was going to be too hard to do all these screen captures and notes and things when I can just do a video. So let me go back to, let's go back to here, my Facebook group. So let's say instead, let me go back to the top. Let me pull my Snagit capture button up. Now off to the left here is a button for video. So you can click on that. I recommend when you try this out for yourself, do a test before you get into like a huge tutorial or anything like that, because you'd hate to waste all that time. Because you want to make sure when you're on the video that you've got the right camera selected, or your camera's working, your mic is working, all of those things. So just making sure that you want that. Now, Snagit offers a webcam option, or you don't have to turn it on. You can if you want to. So anyhow, I'm going to hit capture. So when I hit capture, then it's going to ask me where do I want to record. So I'm going to set that how I want it to record. And I'm just going to bring it in here a little on the edges. Now notice here, oopsie, I think I did a shift there. Okay, notice here this bottom right corner, there's you can't see it on your screen actually, but there's a circle there that's indicating, oh, you can't even see my screen bar. Let's see. No, you can't. There's a capture. I wonder if you haven't been able to see this whole time. I apologize, but it's a bar that's showing me where I can click the hit record so it can start recording. It's also showing me where I can turn on and off my webcam and mess with my microphone as well. So I'm going to hit record. You can't see it, but I am hitting record. And now it's giving me a countdown. And now I can, say what I want to say in here. I can scroll down. Oh, now you can see that little toolbar I was seeing before that you couldn't see a while ago. But that's the bar I was telling you about. I probably would move this out of my video so it's not in there. anyhow, you can scroll and I could say, hey, I'd really like you to go to the guides section. And how you can get there is you go click on guides. And then if you scroll down, you can see I have this guide here. It's my welcome guide. I have a tracking guide that just kind of tells you what I'm going to be sharing for the week. I have a resources guide. I have tips on insurance bookkeeping. I have tips on applied Epic. Here's where you can find your tips on productivity. Also, just so you know, there's a video here that I also teach kind of on the same tool. There's a free tool called Snipping Tool. That's actually where I started in the beginning using was Snipping Tool, although it doesn't have all these cool features that Snagit does. But I do have a training on how you can set up Snipping Tool and try out that. That's a free resource. If you join my group, you can have access to that video. That would be under my productivity tips. And then I have training tips as well. So that's how you can find the guides in my group. And now let's say I'm done with the video. So I'm going to hit stop. And once I hit stop, now you can see here, it populated within the Snagit editor. And you can see there's a play button here at the bottom. So I can hit play. I can clip my video at the ends. So you know how sometimes at the beginning and the ending of the video, it's kind of weird. So you want to clip those ends or the beginning. So you can do that here within Snagit. So that's how you can do a video. And then you can share the link actually. So if you go up here, there's a share link button, click on the down arrow, and then you can get the shareable link. And then you can actually just share the link with someone that maybe that's outside your organization. So you can do some communication that way. And it's really cool. I'm not going to go deeper into that, but it puts it into something called Screencast. And then that person that gets the link would go in there and then they can actually comment on the video within that program. And so you can still have this dialogue going on in this virtual space to be able to get your work completed. Also, one thing I didn't point out is maybe let's go back to one of these invoices here. Let's go to this one. And let's say I wanted to share this now with the account manager to get this item billed. I can go up here to where the share link button is, click that down arrow, and I can click email, and it will automatically go into my email as a picture there. It's not as an attachment, it's as a picture. Now I can save it to my computer. That's what the file button is. I can save it to my computer and then I can email as an attachment. That's another way to do it. I really prefer just hitting the email and it being right there so they don't have to go and open an attachment. It saves them a step. And then you can also see here, it's hard to see my screen a little bit, but there's other places that you can utilize as well for Snagit. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let's see here. All right, so I hope that was helpful. So the communication tool I use, again, it's called Snagit. The brand is by TechSmith. If you do any kind of video editing, they also have Camtasia. But anyhow, for sure, Snagit is the tool that I use every single day, a lot throughout the day to communicate with my team in this virtual space, just to help us, get through the day quicker and to help with efficiencies. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. I do not have an affiliate link or anything like that. I just really wanted to share with you a tool that I use that really does help. And again, there is a free tool out there. It's called Snipping Tool. Actually, let me see. I can share my screen real quick and show you. I didn't, let's see. Try it right here. All right, so I don't know if you can really see my toolbar down here, but it's down here. It's called Snipping Tool. It looks like a pair of scissors. So all you'd have to do is search for it in your toolbar. Again, I have a video on how to do that, or you can just Google it and see how to do it yourself. And I invite you to join my Facebook group. It's Insurance Bookkeeping with Tracking Transactions. All right, so thank you. Let me know if this was helpful, if you have any questions. All right, take care.